Welcome to the UFO Enigma, the place where the mysteries of the cosmos come alive. We delve deep into the unknown, exploring extraterrestrial encounters, UFO sightings, and the unexplained forces that shape our universe. Whether you're a skeptic or a believer, our mission is to unravel the secrets of the skies and beyond. So sit back, relax, and prepare for an intergalactic journey that will challenge everything you thought you knew about the universe. The screen fades in from black to a serene, tranquil sunrise over Earth. The sun slowly rises over the horizon, casting a warm golden glow across the vast, untouched landscape below. The hills are green, dotted with patches of vibrant wildflowers, and the sky is painted in soft shades of pink, purple, and orange. Birds soar gently through the air, and the sounds of nature fill the scene with peaceful harmony. The camera zooms in on two figures standing on a hill, watching the world unfold before them. Elyx stands tall, his imposing figure still magnificent in the calm light of dawn. His golden armor gleams in the soft morning light, the intricate designs and celestial patterns etched into the metal catching the light and reflecting it like liquid gold. His long silver hair, shimmering with starlight, flows down his back, moving ever so slightly in the gentle breeze. His eyes are distant, filled with a quiet reflection, perhaps the calm before the storm. Lila stands beside him, a stark contrast to Elyx's otherworldly appearance. She is dressed simply but practically, her eyes bright with intelligence and her face soft with quiet determination. The wind catches a few strands of her hair, but she remains still, focused on the horizon with Elyx. There's an unspoken bond between them, one forged through battles fought, sacrifices made, and a love that neither had anticipated but both now held dear. Narrator: after surviving the brutal war on his home planet, Elyx had made the choice to stay on Earth. This quiet, blue planet had given him something he had never known: peace. A life he never imagined possible, filled with warmth, compassion, and love. With Lila by his side, he had learned what it meant to protect, to cherish, and to live for something greater than war. But peace, as Elyx had learned too well, is often fleeting, and danger always lurks just beyond the stars. The peaceful scene continues for a moment longer, the camera panning out to reveal the rolling hills below, the sunlight glimmering off the distant oceans. Everything is still, serene, as if frozen in time. Narrator: yet in the deep recesses of space, where darkness reigns and the void stretches endlessly, there are forces that stir, forces that have long been forgotten by the civilizations of this world. Just as the serenity seems unbreakable, a sudden, eerie flicker cuts through the stillness. The camera shifts to a close-up of Lila's laptop, which sits beside her on a flat rock. The screen flashes erratically, the words, "unidentified signal," blinking across it. The sound of a low, metallic hum fills the air as the signal grows stronger, louder. Lila's fingers fly across the keyboard, her brow furrowing as she quickly analyzes the source. "Lila," urgently, her voice filled with concern. "Elyx, we've got a problem. These signals, they're coming from deep space. Something's coming." Lila's fingers tremble slightly as she types in a command, and the image of a rotating, distant star system appears on the screen. The source of the signal is coming from a sector of space previously unexplored, far beyond the reach of Earth's current understanding. The strange signal grows more intense, its pattern unlike anything Lila has ever encountered. Her eyes widen in shock as she stares at the data. Elyx, gripping his axe tightly, his eyes narrowing as he turns toward her. "What is it?" Lila's face hardens as she analyzes the data, her voice now tinged with a sense of urgency and dread. "Lila," voice trembling slightly, "it's a monster, Elyx. A creature unlike anything we've ever seen. They're called Drakhorr, bloodthirsty, relentless. They destroy everything in their path. The camera zooms in on Lila's face, the horror in her eyes slowly spreading as she processes the implications of the signal. The sound of the signal grows louder, a deep, rhythmic pulse that almost seems to resonate with the very core of her being. Elyx's expression hardens, his jaw clenched. The peaceful morning is now shattered, replaced by a growing sense of urgency. Narrator: the Drakhorr were an ancient race, one long feared by those who had encountered them. Their hunger for destruction was unmatched, their strength legendary. And now, they were heading toward Earth. A new battle was about to begin, one that would test not only Elyx's power but his very understanding of the fragile peace he had come to love. Elyx's grip on his HFY axe tightens, his otherworldly weapon pulsing with energy, ready for the fight that lay ahead. He looks toward the horizon once more, his gaze unwavering as the sun continues to rise, unaware of the storm that is fast approaching. The camera cuts to the skies above Earth. The air is heavy, thick with an eerie stillness. The stars seem to flicker with an unnatural brightness, as if the universe itself is holding its breath. Suddenly, the silence is shattered by a deep, rumbling sound that seems to reverberate through the very fabric of reality. Narrator: far beyond the reach of human knowledge, in the depths of the dark cosmos, a storm of destruction begins its descent. The Drakhorr, their name alone strikes fear into the hearts of those who have heard their legend. A monstrous alien race born from the darkest corners of the universe, they are beings of unrelenting hunger, driven by the singular goal of annihilation. The camera zooms in on the horizon as immense, shadowy figures appear. Massive ships, darker than the void itself, begin to emerge from the blackness of space. They are unlike anything seen by human eyes before, vast, angular, and foreboding, their surfaces reflecting no light, absorbing all that comes near them. The ships seem to pulsate with a malevolent energy, as though they are alive, each one an entity of destruction. They hang in the sky, casting long, unnatural shadows across the earth below. Narrator: the Drakhorr ships descend slowly, their ominous presence stirring the very air. The sky itself seems to warp around them, as if the fabric of space-time bends in submission to their power. The ship's undersides are adorned with strange symbols, pulsing with an eerie, red glow and unsettling, rhythmic heartbeat that fills the air with a sense of dread. The ground begins to tremble. The tremors are subtle at first, then they grow stronger, more pronounced. Buildings shudder, windows rattle, and the earth seems to groan beneath the weight of the impending invasion. The vibrations pulse through the streets, causing panic to ripple through the cities. A deep, guttural hum can be heard, emanating from the ships above, as though the very sound itself is a harbinger of doom. Narrator: these are no ordinary invaders. The Drakhorr are ancient, their bodies covered in scales as dark as the void between stars. Their ships are a reflection of their beings, inhuman, relentless, and terrifying in scale. The very sight of them strikes a deep, primal fear within those who gaze upon their approach. The shadow they cast is not just physical, but spiritual, as if all light and hope are swallowed up in their wake. On the ground, Elyx and Lila stand at the edge of a cliff, looking up at the sky. The view is haunting. Countless Drakhorr ships fill the heavens, blotting out the stars, and the tremors continue to shake the earth beneath them. Elyx's golden armor shines brightly in contrast to the darkened sky, his HFY axe held firmly in his hand. Beside him, Lila adjusts a set of high-tech devices she's developed, her eyes focused, scanning the approaching threat. Narrator: Elyx, the alien warrior from Illyria, feels the weight of the moment. His heart, once filled with a warrior's certainty, now beats in rhythm with the earth itself, a planet he has come to love, and one he will fight to protect with every ounce of strength. Beside him, Lila, a brilliant mind, prepares for battle in her own way. Her technological prowess and quick thinking will be as critical as Elyx's strength in the coming conflict. Lila, adjusting a device on her wrist. We can't let them take Earth. We need to act fast. The sound of the rumbling continues to intensify as more Drakhorr ships descend, casting the land into an oppressive darkness. Their shadows stretch longer, now consuming the cities below, each ship bringing with it an unnatural chill. The creatures aboard these ships, their red eyes glowing like embers in the void, are nothing less than harbingers of death. Elyx, his gaze fixed on the sky, his voice low and resolute. I will fight with everything I have. This planet is mine to protect now. And I will not let them take it from us. The camera pans across Elyx's face, revealing the quiet determination in his eyes. His long silver hair flows in the wind, and despite the chaos around him, he stands tall, unyielding. The Xana axe in his hands hums with power, the weapon a symbol of the strength he has brought to this world. Narrator, in that moment, they are not just a warrior and a scientist. They are the last line of defense against an unimaginable threat. The forces of the Drakhorr, led by the merciless General Khor, are closing in, hungry, ruthless, and driven by an insatiable need to destroy. But Elyx and Lila stand resolute, ready to face the storm that is descending upon their world. The camera cuts to the Drakhorr ships, now lowering toward the Earth's surface. Their enormous shadows envelop the cities, the air growing colder as the alien invasion begins in full force. Narrator, the battle for Earth is about to begin. The war that will decide the fate of humanity is no longer just a possibility, it is a reality. And in the face of this impending destruction, Elyx and Lila know that they must act, and act quickly, if there is to be any hope of survival. The scene fades out as the first Drakhorr foot soldiers begin to disembark, monstrous and terrifying in size, their eyes glowing with the promise of death. The massive Drakhorr ships, now fully landed, tower over the landscape like dark monoliths. The air is thick with tension, and the ground beneath them seems to tremble as if it, too, can feel the weight of what is about to unfold. The ships are like behemoths, their surfaces covered in jagged, razor-sharp edges that catch the faintest glimmer of light as they stand motionless in the sky. Suddenly, a sound breaks the silence. A deep, echoing growl emanates from the very heart of the ships. The ground shakes again, this time with the weight of the beasts within. Narrator, the first wave of Drakhorr invaders descended upon Earth. The Earth itself trembled as the massive creatures stepped onto the soil. These were no mere beasts, these were monsters, towering above the tallest trees and buildings, their bodies covered in scales harder than the toughest metal. Their eyes glowed with an unnatural red hue, and their breath, hot and rancid, steamed in the cool air of the early morning. As the creatures begin to disembark from the ships, they move with terrifying precision. Their limbs, thick and powerful, push through the earth, leaving deep marks in the soil as they crush everything in their path. With each step, the ground cracks beneath them, sending shockwaves through the city streets. They are a terrifying sight, their bodies resembling a mix of ancient predators and alien monstrosities, enormous, with thick, segmented armor that covers their backs and limbs, making them look almost impervious to harm. Narrator, the creatures' bodies are like nothing seen before, dark, nearly black scales, each one glistening with an oily sheen that reflects the low light of the setting sun. The surface of their skin is a patchwork of natural armor that seems to shimmer and ripple with each movement, as if the very texture of the beast shifts like liquid. Their claws are long and deadly, blackened talons that gleam with a sharpness that promises only death. They roar deep, guttural sounds that reverberate through the air, sending waves of terror across the city. Their roar is not only a challenge to the forces they are about to face, but a declaration of their intent to conquer and destroy. From a rooftop, Lila watches, her heart racing. The city below is chaos as the first wave of these creatures pushes forward. She's already positioned a high-tech energy weapon, one of her own design, aiming at the closest of the Drakhorr monsters. Lila, through the comms, her voice shaking slightly, "I hit it, but it's still standing." She presses a button on her wrist device, and the weapon hums to life. A bright, powerful blast of energy shoots from the rooftop, striking the Drakhorr squarely in the chest. The blast sends the creature stumbling back, its armor smoking where the energy has pierced through. For a moment, it falters, but it does not fall. It lets out an enraged roar that shakes the very air around them. Elyx, his voice calm yet determined as he sees the creature recovering, "I'll finish it." Elyx, in his gleaming golden armor, stands at the ready. His HFY axe, an ancient and powerful weapon, is gripped tightly in his hands. The blade of the axe glows faintly, an eerie, otherworldly light radiating from it as he charges forward. His long silver hair flows behind him like a banner in the wind, his steps sure and strong as he moves to engage the creature. The Drakhorr turns its massive head, eyes locking onto Elyx. Its snarl is deafening, a warning of the immense fury it's about to unleash. With a roar, it swipes its claws through the air in a deadly arc, aiming straight for Elyx. But Elyx is swift. With a practiced movement, he sidesteps, using the momentum of the creature's attack to get close. His HFY axe rises in a gleaming arc, its blade cutting through the tough, segmented armor with a sound like thunder as it makes contact. Narrator, Elyx strikes with all the might of a warrior born of the stars, his axe cleaving through the creature's armor as if it were paper. The Drakhorr lets out a terrifying howl of pain, its claws raking at Elyx in an attempt to retaliate. But the warrior is relentless, moving with a precision and speed that the Drakhorr cannot match. Each strike from Elyx sends shockwaves through the air, a battle between ancient strength and unstoppable rage. The creature's claws swipe again, this time grazing Elyx's golden armor, leaving deep gouges but no lasting damage. Elyx grits his teeth, determined to protect the planet he now calls home. Elyx, his voice full of resolve, "This is not over yet." The battle rages on. Elyx, using every ounce of his strength, dodges and strikes, his HFY axe a blur of power. The Drakhorr, though wounded, continues to fight back, its massive form not easily subdued. The ground beneath them trembles as the city's defenses start to come online. Lila's energy blasts continue to hit the creature, slowing it, but it's clear that this fight will take more than brute force to win. Narrator, though the battle has just begun, Elyx knows that victory will not come easily. The Drakhorr are relentless, their power unmatched by anything Earth has faced before. But Elyx is no stranger to war. His heart burns with a purpose greater than any fight. He is not just defending a planet, he is defending the future, the chance for peace, for love, for everything he has come to cherish on this strange, beautiful world. The camera pulls back as Elyx and Lila, together with Earth's military forces, prepare for the long fight ahead. The city, still reeling from the initial wave, is only the first battlefield in this war for survival. Narrator, the monsters from the stars have arrived. The battle for Earth has begun. And it will be fought not just with weapons, but with courage, intelligence, and the unyielding will to survive. The battlefield is a cacophony of destruction. The once peaceful city is now a war zone, with buildings crumbling and fires burning in every direction. Elyx moves like a storm, his golden armor shining through the smoke and chaos. His HFY axe is an extension of his will, cutting through the massive Drakhorr monsters with surgical precision. Each strike of the axe cleaves through the thick, scaly armor of the creatures, sending sparks flying, the air thick with the smell of burning flesh and the metallic tang of blood. Narrator: Elyx fights with the strength of 1,000 warriors. His movements are swift and relentless, a blur of alien power and advanced technology. The Drakhorr, despite their terrifying size and strength, falter before him, unable to match his brutal efficiency. Yet, no matter how many he slays, more appear, each one more terrifying than the last. Their numbers seem endless, and with every fallen beast, another takes its place. One Drakhorr, massive and covered in dark, iridescent armor, charges toward Elyx, roaring in fury. Its claws, sharp as daggers, swipe through the air, missing Elyx by mere inches as he dodges and counterattacks. Elyx's golden armor gleams under the harsh light of the battlefield, his long silver hair trailing behind him like a ghostly banner. With a powerful swing, Elyx decapitates the creature, its body falling to the ground with a deafening thud. Narrator: but despite Elyx's prowess, the battle is far from over. Lila, ever the strategist, watches from a nearby vantage point, her sharp mind working tirelessly to devise new ways to outsmart the invaders. She quickly analyzes the movements of the Drakhorr forces, calculating their patterns, searching for weaknesses. Her mind races as she adjusts her high-tech devices, each one designed to slow the Drakhorr advance. Lila notices a Drakhorr charging toward a group of soldiers, its eyes locked on its prey. The soldiers, scattered and disorganized, are no match for the creature's raw power. Lila, standing on the rooftop of a nearby building, presses a small button on her wrist-mounted device, her eyes wide with determination. Lila, to herself, voice barely a whisper, "Come on, come on." A surge of energy ripples through the air as a shimmering energy shield materializes around the soldiers. The Drakhorr monster charges, its claws outstretched, ready to tear through them. But the shield holds, the creature's claws scraping harmlessly against its surface, sparks flying from the point of impact. The soldiers, initially frozen in terror, gasp in relief as the shield holds strong, buying them precious moments. Narrator: Lila's ingenuity shines through in the chaos. Her technology, forged from the alliance of human intellect and Elyx's alien knowledge, provides a flicker of hope in an otherwise hopeless situation. But even her brilliance cannot stem the tide of destruction. More Drakhorr monsters appear on the horizon, their dark forms blotting out the sky as they charge toward the city, their numbers seemingly infinite. Lila watches in horror as wave after wave of Drakhorr pour into the battlefield, their bloodthirsty roars filling the air. The energy shield flickers, struggling to hold as the number of attackers increases. Lila, panicked, speaking into her comms: Elyx, we need a new plan. There are too many of them. Elyx, his face marked by the intensity of the battle, hears her call. His eyes, glowing with the determination of 1,000 warriors, shift to her as he faces down another Drakhorr, its claws aiming for his chest. He parries the attack with a swift movement, slicing the creature's arm clean off with his Xana axe. Elyx, his voice low, filled with conviction: the only way we win this is together. We fight as one. Lila's eyes meet Elyx's through the comms, the weight of his words sinking in. There's a moment of quiet, a brief lull in the chaos, as if the entire battlefield holds its breath. Elyx, though battered, is resolute. Lila, too, knows that their strength lies not in their individual efforts, but in their combined power. They have faced impossible odds before, and they will do so again. Narrator: in that moment, the connection between them is more than just a bond forged in battle, it is a promise. Together, they will face the storm. Together, they will stand against the darkness that threatens to consume their world. Lila's mind works faster now. She begins to activate a series of devices that will turn the tide of the battle. Her fingers move with precision as she sets up traps, creating barriers of energy and redirecting power to the city's defenses. She activates a new wave of energy shields, this time expanding the radius to protect more soldiers. She sees the impact of her work immediately as the shields ripple to life, sending out waves of defensive energy that deflect Drakhorr attacks with dazzling flashes of light. Lila, with newfound resolve, her voice steady, "Let's finish this, Elyx." Elyx nods, his face grim but determined. He raises his HFY axe once more, its blade gleaming with power as he charges toward the Drakhorr once again, this time with a renewed sense of purpose. The air around him hums with energy as the battle intensifies, the sounds of clashing metal and roars filling the night. Narrator, as the battle escalates, Elyx and Lila fight not just for survival, but for a future where Earth and its people can thrive, free from the shadow of the Drakhorr. The creatures may be vast and powerful, but together, they will stand against the tide of destruction. The scene shifts to Lila as she continues to monitor the battlefield, her fingers flying across the controls as she hacks into enemy communication systems, scrambling their signals, and disrupting their coordination. Elyx fights fiercely, cutting down monster after monster, his every strike fueled by the unshakable belief that victory is within their grasp. Narrator, in the chaos of war, it is not just strength that wins battles, but the unity of minds, the courage of hearts, and the unwavering resolve to protect what is dear. Elyx and Lila, warriors from different worlds, have become more than just allies. They are the last hope for a world on the brink of annihilation. The battlefield is shrouded in a heavy mist, the remnants of the chaos that has raged across the city. The once bustling streets are now eerily silent, littered with debris and the echoes of the war. Amidst the destruction, Elyx and Lila move forward, side by side, each step a determined march toward their final confrontation. The sky overhead is filled with the thick, dark clouds left in the wake of the Drakhorr invasion, casting a blood-red hue across the land. The ground beneath them still trembles with the lingering energy of battle, but their resolve is unshaken. Narrator, through the haze of war, Elyx and Lila press on. Every step brings them closer to the heart of darkness, to the beast that has led the Drakhorr to Earth, their merciless general, Drakhorr. The weight of the moment presses down upon them, but their will remains strong, their minds united by a single purpose, to protect the planet they've come to cherish. As they approach the center of the battlefield, Drakhorr steps forward, his towering figure emerging from the smoke and flames. His presence is a force unto itself. The ground beneath him cracks as his enormous feet press into the earth. He is an imposing sight, a creature forged from darkness itself, covered in black, jagged armor that seems to absorb all light. His eyes, glowing a deep, menacing red, pierce through the smoke like two fiery orbs. A low, guttural growl escapes his throat as he sneers at Elyx and Lila, his voice dripping with disdain. Drakhorr, sneering, his voice deep and menacing, "You are nothing. You are weak. I will crush you and this pathetic planet. It will be no more than ash beneath my claws." Lila's fingers twitch nervously on the controls of her high-tech devices, her eyes scanning the battlefield, but she stands firm. Elyx, his golden armor now dulled by the dust of war, steps forward. His HFY axe glows faintly, the weapon almost alive in his grip, as though it shares in his determination. He stands tall, unwavering, in the face of Drakhorr's monstrous presence. Elyx, raising his axe, his voice steady but filled with unwavering resolve, "You underestimate the power of love and unity. I will not let you destroy this world." Not while I still breathe. The air grows colder, the world seeming to hold its breath. For a moment, the battlefield is silent, save for the distant sounds of the retreating Drakhorr forces. Elyx and Drakhorr lock eyes, a silent promise of the fight that is about to unfold. Drakhorr snarls, his red eyes burning with fury, and with a roar, he lunges at Elyx, the ground shaking with the force of his movement. Narrator, the final battle has begun. Elyx and Drakhorr are locked in a clash of titanic power, two forces of nature battling not just for victory, but for the future itself. Drakhorr's massive, clawed hands swipe at Elyx, each strike powerful enough to tear through solid stone. But Elyx is fast, his movements calculated, his experience as a warrior guiding him through the chaos of the fight. Drakhorr's monstrous form looms over Elyx, each blow from the alien general sending shockwaves through the air, his armor rattling with the impact. Elyx sidesteps, his golden armor gleaming despite the chaos, his HFY axe slicing through the air with deadly precision. The blade connects with Drakhorr's armor, sending sparks flying as the two combatants engage in a furious exchange. Elyx moves with the grace of a seasoned warrior, each strike deliberate, aimed at weak points in Drakhorr's seemingly indestructible armor. Narrator, Elyx's every strike is a reminder of the strength he has gained on Earth, the lessons of love, unity, and protection. His HFY axe is not just a weapon of destruction, but a symbol of everything he now stands for. He fights not just for survival, but for a future with Lila, a future where Earth and its people can live in peace. Drakhorr roars in fury as Elyx's axe strikes him again, this time cutting a deep gash in his armor. The monster stumbles back, but quickly regains his footing, his eyes blazing with an intensity that mirrors his rage. He swings his massive claws in a wild, reckless arc, trying to overwhelm Elyx with brute strength. But Elyx, with a swift motion, blocks the attack with his axe and delivers a powerful counterblow, knocking Drakhorr off balance. Elyx, breathing heavily, but determined this ends now. With a mighty roar, Elyx swings his HFY axe in one final, devastating arc. The blade strikes Drakhorr's chest with a force that shatters the dark armor, sending a shockwave of energy through the battlefield. Drakhorr lets out a scream of pain, his massive body falling to the ground with a thunderous crash. The impact sends a ripple through the air, knocking nearby Drakhorr forces off their feet. Narrator, in that moment, time seems to stand still. Elyx stands victorious, his chest heaving with exhaustion, his golden armor streaked with dust and blood. Drakhorr, the mighty general of the Drakhorr, lies defeated before him, the once unassailable leader now nothing more than a broken wreck of his former self. The tide of the battle has shifted. Elyx stands over Drakhorr's fallen body, his HFY axe raised high, its blade gleaming with the light of victory. Lila, watching from a distance, lets out a breath she didn't realize she was holding. The energy on the battlefield is palpable. Exhausted soldiers, now seeing the fall of Drakhorr, begin to rally, their spirits lifted by the defeat of the enemy leader. Narrator, the Drakhorr forces, once unstoppable, falter. Their leader is no more, and with his fall, their will to fight crumbles. The Earth is saved, not through brute force alone, but through the strength of those who fought together: Elyx, Lila, and the spirit of humanity that refused to yield. As Drakhorr's forces begin to retreat, Elyx looks down at the fallen leader, his expression one of solemn resolve. The battle is over, but the scars of the war remain. Yet in the distance, the first rays of dawn break through the smoke-filled sky, casting light upon the ruined city. The Earth, though battered, has been saved. Narrator, the battle is won. But the cost has been high. Yet in the heart of this destruction, there is a flicker of hope, a new beginning. And in the midst of the ruins, Elyx and Lila know that their journey together is far from over. A new world is waiting to be built, and with it, a future of peace and unity. Together, they will forge a new path, one where love and sacrifice will light the way. The battlefield is still, the smoke of the recent carnage slowly rising into the sky. The once vibrant cityscape, now reduced to rubble, lays beneath a sky streaked with shades of twilight purple and crimson. The air is thick with the acrid scent of scorched earth, the sound of crackling fires and the distant echo of retreating Drakhorr forces. Yet, amid the devastation, there is a quiet, almost sacred peace that begins to settle over the land. Elyx and Lila stand at the edge of the battlefield, their eyes scanning the horizon. Their bodies are battered, their clothes torn and soiled, but their spirits are unbroken. Narrator, the battle is over. The Drakhorr ships, once towering and ominous, are now twisted ruins scattered across the Earth's surface. The monstrous invaders who had once seemed invincible are now mere remnants of a failed invasion. But the victory did not come from brute force alone. It was the strength found in unity, the alliance between an alien warrior and a human scientist, that shattered the Drakhorr's grip on this world. Their trust in one another, their shared love and courage, had turned the tide of battle. Elyx's golden armor, once gleaming in the heat of battle, is now dulled by dust and blood, but it still reflects the light of a dying sun. His long silver hair, tangled and matted from the combat, frames his face as he turns toward Lila. His expression is soft, a rare glimpse of the quiet strength he has come to find on Earth. Lila, standing beside him, is just as weary, her hands stained with the remnants of the battle, but her eyes are filled with warmth. There is no fear now, just the tranquil calm of someone who has seen the storm pass. Lila, her voice a gentle whisper, but laced with quiet triumph, "We did it." She looks at Elyx, and for a moment, time seems to stand still. There is no more urgency, no more terror, only the shared weight of what they've achieved together. Elyx smiles, a rare, genuine smile that reaches his eyes, transforming his once stoic features into a reflection of gratitude and hope. Elyx, his voice calm and resolute, with a trace of pride, "Together, we can overcome anything." They stand side by side, gazing out at the horizon. The scene stretches out before them, a city in ruins, but still alive, still breathing. The sky overhead is fading from the deep reds of sunset to the cool blues of night. The earth, though scarred by battle, remains unbroken. In the distance, Earth's soldiers begin to secure the area, their movements weary but steady. They search the wreckage, ensuring that no more threats remain. The ground beneath them is still warm from the battle, but the flickering lights of hope begin to shine through the darkness. Narrator, the future is uncertain, as it always is. The Earth has been saved, but the path ahead is not without challenges. Yet, in this moment, the horizon holds promise. With love, courage, and the strength that comes from unity, there is hope for a better world, for a world that can heal. Elyx and Lila's journey is far from over, but now, with each other by their side, they know that no matter what comes next, they will face it together. The Earth, though bruised, stands ready for the dawn of a new beginning. The camera zooms out slowly, revealing the peaceful Earth below, a world full of life, resilient and hopeful, bathed in the soft glow of the setting sun. The ruins of the Drakhorr ships lie scattered across the ground, their menacing presence now a symbol of a battle fought and won. The quiet hum of the world continues, as the Earth begins to heal, just as Elyx and Lila have healed. Narrator, and as the stars begin to twinkle in the night sky, a new chapter begins, not just for Elyx and Lila, but for Earth itself. A chapter built on the strength of love, sacrifice, and the unshakable bond between two souls from different worlds. Together, they will forge a future where peace and hope can flourish once again. Thank you for joining us on the UFO Enigma. We hope you've enjoyed this thrilling tale of intergalactic conflict and unbreakable bonds. If you want to explore more of the mysteries of the universe, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to stay updated on all our latest content. Remember, the universe is vast and filled with secrets. We'll continue to uncover them, one mystery at a time. Until next time, keep your eyes on the skies.